Straight to the freezer for our dessert. I'm sure you've heard it plenty of times before. When baking, cold is what you need. Freezing is even better. It's gonna make the crust or the cookie crunch light, airy, crisp. It's great. So, in the freezer, I had all of my ingredients for the crust of our tarts, which is our flour, sugar, salt, and then I've got my really cold butter. Get my blade down, and then my lid. Now to this, I'm just gonna add the cold butter after I give it a nice run through. Don't forget the pecans are in here as well. We're gonna make a pecan pumpkin tart with the crust that has pecans in it. Flavors all over the place. All right, so about 6 tablespoons of our rock hard and cold butter. Put that right in, blitz it. And this is gonna be our dough, basically, that we're gonna press into our little mini tarts. All right, now to that, just about 2 tablespoons of water, but watch it for texture. What's most important, it's not too wet. Okay. I've overdone it before, and then I just start adding in all the other ingredients. Okay, that is perfect. I'll show you what it looks like. This is what you are going for here. This right here. So, put that on a nice floured surface, and I'm going to make this into one big ball. Put the flour on the hands. And I'm gonna turn this big ball into 24 smaller balls and get them into our mini tarts ready for the fridge. Oh yeah, it's gotta cool down again. I'm gonna put my dough balls into a pre-greased mini muffin tin. All right, flour everywhere, but these are ready to go into the refrigerator to cool down again. I put all that body heat on them. And like I said, cool is where it's at when you're baking. I wanna build the custard. So first things first, I wanna go ahead and get my eggs ready to go. I love this recipe. It's a cross between a pumpkin pie and a pecan pie, which I love pecan pie. And I love pumpkin pie too, so. All right, so 1 full egg and 1 yolk. To that, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of sugar. Go ahead and make sure you measure. This is baking, and this is for your friends and family, hopefully, so take a little bit of time to measure away. So that's 1 tablespoon of our sugar. And then a little trick I'll show you. If you're using some dark corn syrup like I am right here, or honey, any other thick liquid, and you're gonna measure it, just go ahead and spray the measuring cup with a little bit of cooking spray before you pour it in, and everything will come out. Be sure you're measuring properly. All right, so we're gonna put a 1/2 cup of that in. Where's my 1/2 cup? That's gonna go right in. Now watch how easily it pours out. Look at that. Come on, shortcut. And then to this, we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of our pumpkin filling or our puree. Now, you can almost eyeball this, but I'll go ahead and scoop a little bit. This is just gonna be the moisture and the flavor. Let me tell you, the hint of pumpkin in this is great. So a couple of scoops of that, and then just a little bit of vanilla. I wanna go ahead and get my whisk out. Now we're not done here. We wanna add some pecans, but really quick, I'm gonna mix this around. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and chop a handful of pecans. Now this is where you just do what you like, but don't go overboard because we still want it to be nice and liquidy. Let me wipe off my knife. Okay, and give these a nice little run. All right, pecans go right in. And this is great because pecans are also in our crust that's in the oven right now, blind baking for us. And see, our filling is done, good to go. Now, blind baking, just so you know, it's basically just getting our crust cooked for us and ready to go, so it's crispy and crunchy, and you know, it's perfectly cooked for what we're about to do to it, which is add the custard. And they're looking good. Come on out, babies. I love this dessert because if you're gonna have a big dinner, you don't feel too guilty when you just pop a few in your mouth. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill each of my 24 up and then put a little pecan half on top of each of them and get them back in the oven. Going into my 350-degree oven. for a twist on the classic Mini Pecan Pumpkin Pies.